pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Beth, has this meeting been properly noticed?
Yes, Chairman, it has.
Can I get a roll call of commissioners?
Mr. Davis? Mr. DeWise? Ms. Fisher? Mr. Grillo?
Here.
Mr. Parikh? Councilwoman Roberts? Mr. Scott? Chairman Zabrowski?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. I have the minutes from March 13th, 2025 meeting. Has everybody had an opportunity to review those? Are there any requests for amendments or edits? If not, I'll take a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Can I get a second?
Second that motion.
Roll call.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. DeWise?
Yes.
Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mr. Parikh?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Chairman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mike, attorney's report.
Thank you, Chairman. I wanted to briefly on the resolution that on the agenda, 11A deals with the Sayreville landfill three and the site plan because of the timing of the planning board meeting and our meeting, they went first instead of us going first. So in speaking with the executive director, he thought that you guys create as a record of the agency approving and ratifying the fact that they were on this for the amendment. The engineers have looked at the amendment and found it consistent with our redevelopment plan. The second one is if you recall, I believe in January, there was a old secondary sewer easement at the MCUA that we dissolved and then added a new easement for the site. And the MCUA was required a new easement to have $5 million in order to field coverage. They wrote back to us and said, we only have $1.2 million. Is that okay? Change $1 million, $2 million in these circumstances. It's more than enough to the easement between their property and our property. So I recommend the approval of that. And the last item, if you recall, at the February meeting, the agency approved a non-disturbance agreement between the redeveloper and Starbucks. Starbucks attorney about that. There's some changes that they wanted to that. I reviewed those. I asked them to make another change. They made that change later this afternoon. One word, something that I'm satisfied with that.
Any questions for the attorney and his report? All good. Moving on to the engineer's report. Justin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our office completed, can you hear me? Our office completed the Main Street speed limit evaluation between Washington Road and MacArthur Avenue. All the commissioners should have received a copy of it. I thought I'd use this opportunity to give you just a brief summary of our findings. The scope of our work included a field evaluation of the road. We reviewed accident data from the past 3 years. We reviewed current statute and MUTCD recommendations, and we looked at the speed evaluation conducted by the Sayreville Police. The accidents for the past 3 years, there have been 25 on Main Street, and 3 of them are directly related to speeding. Currently, the statute for this road, this statute lists this road as a residential, and as per statute, all residential roads are recommended to be 25 miles per hour. The existing speed currently is the existing 85th percentile speed, which is the speed that we use to figure out what cars drive, is 30 miles per hour. That's why we've gone through and recommended several traffic calming measures to implement into this road so that we could get drivers to start driving 25 miles per hour as they should with this type of road. We're recommending that we put in some flashing beacons near Main Street, on Main Street near OLV and by Borough Hall. We recommend additional advanced warning signs for the crosswalks. We recommend a speed feedback sign and then additional speed limit markings in the road. Our traffic engineers concluded that due to the type of road and due to all the other factors that we found, including the accidents and the speed, that this road should be 25 miles per hour. We sent it to Middlesex County and we're just waiting on their feedback. But I could take any questions on it.
Concerning crosswalks, what is the process to install more crosswalks? What is the review? Is it by the county? And I think there is a deficiency in crosswalks, so just curious how we would do that.
As far as mid-block crosswalks,
Yes.
you can install them wherever you feel justified, as long as they're within as long as there's a reason to install them, you can. They recommend them at least 400 feet from intersections, but otherwise, if there's a need for the crosswalk, you can install them. That's all for my report. Thank you. So those would be, the flashing beacons are for pedestrians when they cross crosswalks. They would press a push button and then the beacons would flash. It's solar powered. And we would recommend it near Burr Hall and near OLD.
The crosswalks, when you're talking about the upgrade to them, is that like the illuminated or the lighting on the sidewalks?
We're not recommending those, the ones in the road that light up. Those that are very difficult to maintain. Even though they might help with safety, they're very difficult to maintain. They break often. New Jersey actually tends to not use them. We're recommending poles that light. So when you push the button and pedestrians are there, they light up.
I think it's similar to where DuPont has something, the same idea.
Same idea. It wouldn't be a red light. It would just be a flashing pedestrian sign.
A number of projects, we have the ones that are in the pavement, okay, but it's just an indicator to you, there's so many things that can go wrong with them, okay? There's less maintenance associated with the solar powered ones mounted on poles adjoining the road. But if somebody wanted us to go through and consider those, that is certainly a possibility.
I always wondered too, because OLV no longer has.
Everyone, please use your mic and turn it on.
Sorry about that. So I always wonder too, that know that OLV no longer has a school, but obviously an active congregation. I'm wondering if there was a suggestion at all, or to either add or move the crosswalk. Because there's really no crosswalk in front of that.
Yeah, we would not recommend removing the crosswalks because it's used, for church services.
Right.
But from the standpoint, my understanding is that OLV's in negotiation with Sayreville to go through and utilize their school building. May not be for this year, but it might be next year.
Right.
So all the more purpose to keep a crosswalk.
Would you suggest, or would you not be able to add a second because it's so close to where because the church, in front of the church, there is no crosswalk.
That's where we would recommend.
You are recommending, okay.
Okay, rather than moving it, but you wanted us to look at something else, we're happy to
No.
go through and do it.
No, I'm satisfied with that. I appreciate it. Okay. Oh, and as far as timing, and Justin deferred to you, as far as what's the timing for the county on that?
Really depends. I think we all have to push them, okay? They have a lot of things on their chopping block also. So I think we just have to lobby it to try and make it a priority. We'll follow up with them in another week. I think it would be a little too pushy for us to call Monday, but I think in another week we can call to find out a status. And we'll see how it's moving along. And in all seriousness, our game plan is to say, this is what we want done, and this is a county road. County may come back and say, if you want these things done, you're gonna have to go through and pay for them yourself.
Okay.
Just so that you're aware.
Understood. Additional comments, questions for, and do you have any additional,
Nothing else. Thank you.
any other questions for either David or Justin? Okay, not moving on. Manchu, planners report?
Chairman, I'm gonna defer this to my able assistant to read the administrative report.
Right, everybody. So item number one, is the approval letter from the NJTPA. So Sarah has officially received a copy of the resolution adopted. Yes, Sarah has officially received a resolution adopted by the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, confirming the inclusion of the Sayreville Waterfront Multimodal Transportation Improvement Project in the 2024-2027 Transportation Improvement Program. We needed them to include this for our FTA grant. That grant, with everything happening federally, could be in flux, but we're still moving ahead with it.
I just want to add, this afternoon, I got an email David, Justin, you might have know, I'm trying to find they're looking for some grant number for that specifically now. I got another group of NJTPA, the FTA people contact me to get the grant number, and we have to send other information to them. So at least it's positive and it's moving forward, but I want to alert everybody that right now with the Fed changes that's coming down, this may not come to a fruition at the end, but we're going to continue to go ahead and hope that we're going to get this funding and that our engineering people can do the study that is necessary.
All right, and then the second item is the annual audit has been initiated. We anticipate having a draft of the final audit available for review at the next agency meeting. The third is the Main Street community engagement. We sent out letters to the business owners and residents of the Main Street area, inviting them to participate in an evening meeting to provide input on some potential downtown improvements. The meetings are scheduled for April 22nd and 23rd at 6 p.m. And so far, we've gotten several responses back, and we're hoping that more people will participate and provide input. The fourth one is the 2025 RFQ for professional services. The 2025 request for qualifications for professional services will be released on April 15th with a submission deadline of May 6th. Sarah is seeking qualifications for the following positions: real estate appraiser, special counsel for redevelopment matters, agency attorney, agency auditor, agency engineer, agency planner, agency bond counsel, agency bond underwriter, and agency financial consultant. And then there's one more item that I forgot to add to this. We had discussed the bus shelters along Main Street that have been kind of neglected for several years. Me and Glenn had looked into how they got there and who's responsible for them. It's an agreement between the borough, a third party, and the county that allowed them to be there. The agreement seems to have expired. So we've reached out to the county to see what our options are. And Glenn, the business administrator, also took it upon himself to reach out to the New York Waterways about the ferry in South Amboy and possibly utilizing them as a shelter for them, because they have a shuttle route throughout town. So it might be a nice fit if they were to take responsibility of them and, retrofit them and fix them up. That might be an option as well.
I just want to alert the commissioner that the RFP process is going to be pretty much how we defined last year. We're going to get all the RFP. They'll be uploaded on our shared drives and available to you to review them. And then we'll prepare recommendations to award the contract we have to award them at the June meeting. So hopefully by May, we get it, everything, we go to the evaluation, and then time for everybody to review, and then we'll put it on the agenda in June for the award, okay?
And Zach, just talk a little bit about the April 22nd, April 23rd. What's the format for that night?
It's just going to be an information session, and we're going to solicit public input from individuals that choose to respond. We requested that they RSVP, so we know ahead of time how many people we're expecting. And then we're just going to take input about how they believe the downtown can be improved. And then, maybe relay some of our suggestions that we've come up with here to them and get their feedback.
We're gonna share the consultant study on the downtown and basic information saying what we're trying to do. And I think that one of the idea is to, get the fear out that we're doing redevelopment or we're doing condemnation or taking none of those. We want to clear all of those out. It's more, and then take their input if they each have any suggestions to improve on that. But it's just to share the information.
Zach, can you also explain the method by which you notified all the property owners? And also secondarily, where is that meeting going to be held?
So the meeting is going to be held here in room 310, I believe. We notified them via letter. We sent a letter to all of the residents and property owners, and that was it.
Any additional, any questions for our engineer? I'm sorry, for our executive director or assistant director?
Are commissioners encouraged to attend?
Yes, absolutely. If you'd like to attend, just let us know.
We have to be,
can't have-
yeah, we can't have quorum, so.
We should know if people are going to attend.
We had, I think this project was spearheaded by Steve, Commissioner Grillo, so we have asked him and obviously chairman. But once we expand the number more than 4, now we have quorum and then we have and this is limited to the people. We have clearly indicated that it is not open to public. It is only to those invited. And that's why we have an RSVP and confirmation, so. We'll report in detail to all the commissioner at next meeting.
Any additional questions? If not, moving on, we have authorization for payment of bills, a total of $28,341.31, which breaks down to operating total of $23,507.81 and escrow total of $4,833.50. You all were provided also with a bill list. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, can I get a motion to?
Motion to approve the roll.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. DeWise?
Yes.
Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mr. Parikh?
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Scott? Chairman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
We have resolutions, 2025-0410. This is the resolution for the landfill 3. Just by way of additional background, that this was presented to the planning board at the last planning board meeting by the applicant. And the planning board did in fact approve of that plan. Are there any questions regarding this resolution? Don?
Commissioner, Chairman, I think Justin, you verified that it complies with our agreement that we have.
That's correct. I did see one issue and I noted it to the applicant and they took care of it. And otherwise I found it in general conformance with the redevelopment plan and with the previous approval.
I just want to make sure it's for the record that it did comply with our redevelopment agreement.
Yes, first of all, this was a very large package that we had to go through. And I'm on, if anybody wanted to know, I'm on page 244. They have listed a number of waivers on this page. And some of them are very insignificant. 244. I don't know how to get there quickly on our tablets. But some of them, fill replacement and soil removal, temporary staging plan for projects greater than 10 acres in the area. They're asking for a waiver on that. I'm not sure what they're asking for.
I don't know, Justin, are you familiar with it?
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I don't have the packet in front of me. What are they asking a waiver for?
A staging plan for projects greater than 10 acres in area. And in bold, it says a waiver is being requested as construction staging for the proposed development located on an existing landfill will be provided in accordance with the proposed landfill closure and post-closure care plan as submitted, currently pending approval with NJDEP.
So they're just, they're not going to submit a staging plan to be reviewed by the board. They're just going to do that at a later date. That's all.
There's plenty of room on the site for staging.
So they're okay for stages, not anything permanent going in any areas. Okay, and these are also insignificant. Statement that a final plan is consistent with the preliminary, no. I think that was the big one. I was just concerned that they were not exceeding the, where they were putting things and it wasn't too close to the edge area. And I think that's the only thing I had for that. Let me just check page 251, because like I said, this was a bear to get through. And see if that's still part of this one. Yeah, there's a odd map on page 251. Related to, this is what it looks like.
Not 251 in the entire package. Or
That's one in the entire package.
251 in my package, isn't it?
Oh,
I think this, Steve, I believe that's a separate
Mine-
package.
Okay.
That was, the 250 pages is the agenda package.
Yeah.
This particular application had its own, filing, right?
It had it's six
It-
files in its own file.
Yeah.
That
There was
came in
something
from-
up on the site to pull down.
and the other thing on this one, there is
He
a
loves
page
to
for
produce.
a revocable license. And I think that's for this project. A rental agreement from the state of New Jersey.
For a revocable license?
Yeah,
Can I bring it over to you?
Yeah, thanks.
I think it's still part of this.
Change the title.
Exactly, it relates as our engineer stated, it relates to Tidelands, and the state is granting a revocable license for them to do their work. And since they're the state, they want to be able to revoke it whenever they.
It's standard, no surprises.
I've just never seen one of those before. All right, thank you for the clarification.
Any other questions or reference to this resolution? If not, can I take a motion?
I will make a motion.
Roll call?
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. DeWise?
Yes.
Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mr. Parikh?
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Chairman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
We now have Resolution 2025-411, and this is for the easement at the MCUA, which Mike had explained earlier. Is there any questions or comments relative to this resolution?
Can I ask a question?
Certainly.
There was a large amount of documentation on sewer and water, like hundreds of pages on that. Was that for the previous resolution or this resolution?
That was the previous.
Okay, I do have a follow-up question on that, not anything that would change my vote, but because there was so much of that, do we send a copy of that analysis to our water and sewer department?
The reporting on the Sayreville landfill 3, okay, is reported to the DEP so that they can go through and measure whether or not there are contaminants in the underlying soils or aquifers are being affected. I don't know that they go through and report directly to the water department. But the interesting part is that the aquifer that is below the landfills, okay, which is the deeper aquifer, the Farrington Sands is already encroached with salt. So we're not worried about it in that particular area. The Old Bridge Sands is an outcrop area that outcrops further along the South River that we are worried about and we watch. And there are monitoring wells that are checked by the state regularly in the Old Bridge Sands aquifer. But the answer is, to your direct question, is I don't know that the water department goes through and gets that. I don't know that it's critical that they do, because in that particular aquifer, it's already encroached with salt and we can't use it.
Okay, thank you.
We had a Farrington well that was shut down probably 10 years before I became the engineer. So it had to be in the 60s shut down. That's how long the saltwater contamination has been.
Thank you for that. There just seemed to be a lot of data on.
Well, there's a lot of data because it's required, and that's one of the reasons that we recommended that the borough consider going through and redeveloping that property to take the onus off the borough for going through and doing that testing, because now the new property owner will have to do that testing and report that to the state. And that will save the borough a lot of money and the PRPs.
Thank you. I'm glad I asked that question to get this tidbit of information. Thank you. I'm sorry, Commissioner.
No worries. Great question, David. Thank you for that explanation. Do we need,
Motion?
A motion for 2025-411.
Make a motion.
Roll call.
Mr. Davis. Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Mr. Grillo.
Yes.
Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts. Mr. Scott. Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
And finally, we have Resolution 2025-412, and this is the recognition agreement between Sayreville Seaport Associates and Starbucks. Any comments, questions, concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Mr. Grillo.
Yes.
Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts.
Yes.
Mr. Scott. Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, this is our portion for commissioner comments. Are there any questions, comments from our commissioners? Good, Donna.
I do have one just filing comment. If we do the resolution, if on the flip side, it is repeating a resolution ID, so that should be updated to 2025.04.13, because 1.11 was used already.
Yep, number 14.
Duly noted. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? No? Kevin, anything new, updates that you'd like to provide?
Good evening, Commissioners. I hope you guys are having a good week so far. Some of you have recorded your sessions of the podcast so far. I'm looking forward to filming the rest of you, and then we're also moving forward with the staff of Sarah as well as our professionals. So those are going to be the upcoming episodes of the podcast. First will be based off of our commissioners, then it'll be our staff, and then our professionals within the upcoming months. So if anyone has any questions about anything else, you can shoot me an email. Thank you.
And then we're gonna go from there to different projects and talk about different projects.
Moving on, can I get a motion to open for public?
Second.
We need a roll call?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? To help keep this meeting as organized as possible, we ask members of the public to approach, state your name, and strive to limit your comment to 5 minutes. All comments this evening should refer to redevelopment and agenda items and be based upon NJSA 10:4/12A and the Sayreville Economic and Redevelopment Agency rules. In the event a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made during regular business hours with the agency's office. Thank you.
Anybody from the public wish to speak? Anybody from the public wish to speak? Anybody from the public wish to speak? If not, can I take a motion to close public portion?
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Can I get a motion for adjournment and also a happy Easter to everybody?
Easter.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Everyone have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
What's that? I haven't even heard about it. You know what?